Well, thanks, Mike. And Jeremy, thank you for that very eye-opening presentation. And he's obviously warmed you guys up to have a really open mind, to really look for the possibilities, look for the patterns. But I'm going to start with a question for you, and really, really quick. I want to see all hands up for who are our hunters in here. Come on, hands up. All right, that was really slow for 50% of you. I just want you to know. So it was a little bit of a trick question, but I'm going to ask everyone to be a hunter today. And I think that is really, really important insight because I've been talking about cloud for a number of years. I know Danny's going to be up here, and he's an unbelievable expert in this technology for our company, and many of you are as well. But what I think we miss in exploring cloud is we miss some of the concepts that Jeremy shared, and they're hard to teach, especially in a company like IBM, where I'm from. And I think that you really do have to put your curiosity cap on and look through what we're talking about with technology to understand the possibilities. Because cloud is a platform. It's not one aspect of cloud that's going to completely unlock your ability to do what Jeremy talked about, which is really find the startup in your enterprise. And I don't mean buy a startup. What he talked about was all kinds of innovations to actually create opportunities, business opportunities, make money, whatever you want to call it, satisfy you, satisfy client need. And that's really hard, especially when you come from a company, either like the company that I belong to, which has really locked into, we're really good at this, and we're going to do it over and over and over again. And listening to him, it's what we battle every day in my company internally, and we are maniacally focused on doing some of the things that he talked about, which is culture change, which is changing the speed at which we do things, and really getting very, very, very close to our clients through social and through digital, and reinventing our company from the inside out, which is painful and chaotic. So we're not asking you to explore here anything different than what IBM's going through. And I think we have a tremendous agenda for the day, and we'll show you different insights, either through clients or through our own experience, only to have you look at it and say, what does that mean for me? And that's your job as hunters. You're all hunters today, and that's what we're going to ask you to do. So in terms of cloud being a growth engine for business, again, it's a platform. You have to define what that means for you. And people will present you with all kinds of ideas, what they did. You've got to figure it out for yourself. And that's what today's about. You have some of the most outstanding leaders, either through our client experiences, to have Mike Roden talk to you about Watson and the amazing things that many industries are doing there. Take pieces away. Pieces matter here. Putting those pieces together for your own pattern, for your own change, that's what today's about. We know that cloud is about speed, agility, innovation. But all the things I just talked about is what makes it hard. Most of you are technologists and have a pretty significant career in those areas. But understanding, well, exactly what do I need to do for me to be a success story, or for me to create that success for my business, that's the hard part. So we're going to look at a lot of different industries today, a lot of different clients. But clearly, cloud is really changing and opening up opportunities for all kinds of industries. And we have many, many, many examples. And you probably have some examples as well. But for retail, approximately 54% of retail companies are leveraging big data and analytics and social in combinations and engagement to really get closer to their client. Here's an example with 250% improvement in shopper to customer conversion rate. Why? Because they were able to observe behavior. Those are things that we haven't been very easily able to do before. Maybe you can observe behavior in a focus group. That's not what we're talking about. That's irrelevant. It's real-time behavioral analytics. For healthcare, a tremendous amount of innovation here. I hope that we have some terrific examples for you over the course of the day that go into a lot more detail on what healthcare organizations are doing to leverage, whether it's cognitive or big data and analytics combined with social, to really change their business and serve the individual, serve the patient better, get closer to that patient. And it's enabled by technology, but a lot of it is really about the different relationship that it sets up. This is also about relationships with your clients. So Open Pediatrics happens to be Children's Hospital of Boston, and they created a cloud-based educational platform to educate doctors and nurses, and their talent goes way beyond the walls of Children's Hospital of Boston. It's an absolutely outstanding story, and if you don't know anything about it, they really revolutionized through education Doctors Without Borders, that kind of a concept, and are able to do things incredible across multiple agencies with the technology and the platform that they put in place. And it's a wonderful, emotional, heartwarming story that I think any business can learn from, because the major doctor who actually invented their system and brought this to life for Children's Hospital of Boston actually got the idea from watching the Masters and what they were able to do with golf. So that's where, you know, whatever you're looking at, look through it. Look through it and try to understand what it means for you. And as Mike mentioned, we have Dawood Gautz today with us, and he'll come up on stage with Danny. But that's an outstanding example of transformation right here in the state of California. A great partnership between IBM and the state of California around really changing the way the state of California delivers services, and then optimizes all of their back-end systems so that they reduce duplication and actually deliver better services and build that relationship with their citizens. So a lot of change here, and over the course of the day, you will get into much deeper examples that can help you see some of the things that people are actually doing. But it's really the combination, which you'll hear people talk about the nexus of forces. You'll hear people talk, use acronyms, cloud, analytics, social, mobile. It's the explosion of data, the volume, the variety, the velocity that is literally forced the changes that we're dealing with today. And cloud is an enabler. Cloud is the great equalizer. Cloud brings enterprise-level capabilities, technology capabilities, to whether you're a startup or you're a large enterprise. It's leveling the playing field, because you can tap into compute power, you can tap into technology that you could never afford before at a very early state in an idea or within any business. And for large businesses that have data centers and significant technology platforms, there's an opportunity to innovate with some of that to actually unlock a startup mentality, an agility to the way that people develop applications or consume technology or stand up servers. That if you look at it across this whole vast space of startup to enterprise, there's a lot to learn on both sides. And cloud kind of equalizes that environment, and that's what we're seeing. You also heard Mike talk a little bit this morning about some of these partnerships. You see the Apple logo, the SAP logo, the Twitter logo, and clearly it's about, we bring enterprise, you bring data, and there's those kinds of relationships. But I really believe that that's just the beginning. And one that I'm really excited about is the Twitter data and Bluemix and IBM Analytics relationship, because there's 8 years of data through Twitter that actually represents a huge demographic that, frankly, you have very little information about. Very little information. So for me, when I look at these partnerships, yes, they're important, and we're going to see many more of them, but we're innovating with different partnerships. People that we would not have worked with before. SAP, traditionally been a competitor, but let me tell you, we've embraced that relationship wholeheartedly. We actually also have a relationship with Microsoft. So the world's changing, and it's about how you can work together, put what you've got together to deliver something better to the consumer in ways that nobody ever thought about it before, and that's exciting. But it's not just about technology. It's about your business being a composable business, and that means you're agile. You can very easily, compose your processes, apps, services, reuse, rebuild, find new opportunities, and do it very quickly. So this concept of composable business we'll come back to, but it's about people, process, and technology. And in fact, one analyst recently told me that 50% of private cloud implementations fail because the organization feels really good that they've implemented the technology. They didn't change any processes. They didn't change the culture. So they changed nothing around it, which of course suffocates the ability to get anything out of the technology. So remember these things, people, process, and technology, and all day long you'll be seeing this. I want you to see through what people are telling you and understand how these things matter to your business. That's what today's about. We also have focused a lot of our time and energy on understanding how roles have changed. Cloud lets you reimagine, I would say, the way you live, the way you work, and the way you play. Today we're talking a lot about work. And the roles have fundamentally changed. Business leaders want to innovate at the speed of business. They want to tap into applications. You have a role in that. They want you to help them. There are a lot of implications to doing that. But they are going to be technologists, as Jeremy said. Everybody in your organization is a technologist today. Developers, they need a platform to quickly develop applications, rapidly develop applications, deploy them, try things, fail, learn, come back, do it again, not have to get rid of anything, be able to reuse, and create that very fluid, frictionless environment. In fact, you'll hear that term a lot. And then from the perspective of IT as a broker, IT that really delivers consumable hybrid cloud and manages that for your organization or business. So understanding the role changes, because that also drives the culture change. So we have a lot of capabilities to help you in this journey that you're on from, to really leverage cloud as your growth engine. Everything from, the ability to use SoftLayer as your infrastructure as a service, all the way to the 100+ SaaS applications. You'll hear a lot about these, and they'll show actual examples of our different SaaS properties, and especially around Watson Analytics and big data and analytics. We have the ability for you to understand what's new with Bluemix and how that's a revolutionary application development platform that's open and that provides flexibility and agility, and will have also all kinds of aspects, not just from IBM, but from third parties there. So there's one place to really build and develop enterprise applications. Big part of what our Apple relationship is about as well. So you'll see this chart multiple times today. Different aspects of what's being presented really kind of will walk around this diagram. Everything from infrastructure as a service to business process as a service, public, hybrid, private cloud. And in fact, today we're going to start with a private cloud example. Many, many clients start with private cloud, and then they venture forth. So today, it's my pleasure to ask Danny to come up on the stage, and David to go through a really exciting partnership that we have and results that are transforming the state of California and the way they approach enabling their citizens to really get all the value out of living here.